Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and I hope you guys are doing great. So you might have seen my last video where I taught you guys about what is the stock market, and I said that I'm going to start this learning series, right? So today is going to be chapter 2 where I'm going to talk about and explain about brokers, right? So let's get into it. I'm not going to waste much of my time in further. So let's get into that presentation, and I'll explain it to you guys. And obviously, my for the same teaching, the video will come in Hindi also, hopefully in the coming days. So let's get into it, right? So today's video is quite simple, right? I'm just going to try to explain what are brokers and what do they do and how does it help, right? In a plain and a simple language. So I've made certain slides and I'll go through it, and there might be certain points which might overlap, but we will understand, who are brokers, what do they do, what are their responsibilities, how they make money and all those things. So let's just get into it, right? So the first thing, if you see, right, who are brokers? So brokers are none but if you are they just intermediaries, right? So if I as an investor, right, want to buy or sell shares either in NSE or BSE, right, I have to go through a broker. So through them only I can, how to say, buy and sell the shares, right? So what I do, right, I open an account with a broker, my demat account, and then I start buying and selling shares through them. So that's what they do. Without brokers, one cannot do any transaction on the stock exchange. So that is the main thing. So if I put it in a very simple word, right, brokers connect us to the stock market and help us buy and sell shares. So that is plain and simple. And let's see, what do brokers do, right? So let's go into detail. So what do actually brokers do? So first of all, what the brokers do, right, they execute the trades on behalf of on the investor. So if anybody wants to buy or sell shares, we place it through their platform and they go ahead and execute these trades in the market. They provide information, like market data, research, news, and insight. The account that we as investors have over there, right? So over there, they maintain the account. They take care of our trading and our holding all our records and everything. They will provide us with the contract notes. Everything is done by them. And obviously, in case if there are any issues, they provide. They solve our queries. They help us. Sort out any issues if any things are there. And obviously, one of the most important thing is, right, because of the brokers, the transactions are very smooth and safe, right? So that no one can interfere in between. It's always a live happening. So that's what they do, right? So they execute orders, they provide information, they maintain accounts, our accounts on our behalf, they provide support and guidance, and they ensure smooth and safe transactions. So let's look at what what are the responsibilities of a broker, right? See, there is a reason there is a broker in the stock exchange, right? So they have certain responsibilities that they have to fulfill. Without that, there is no need for them, and for no need for them to earn the commission or the money that they make, right? So first is, as I told you, right, first is execute orders. That is their main and the basic responsibility, right? The brokers are there in the stock exchange to ensure that they execute the buy or sell orders on behalf of their customers. So that's plain and simple. That is the first thing. Second thing is safeguard client interest, right? So over here, this is by default given that whatever broker is doing, right, whatever advice he's giving or whatever product that he's selling or everything, it is assumed that they are doing it in the safeguard of the client's interest, right? Whether they actually do or not, I mean, I'll keep that aside for now. We might look into that later, but that is another thing that their responsibility. Third is provide accurate information, right? So over here, they are supposed to ensure us provide accurate information and timely information regarding the trades that has been executed. The charges that we have to pay, the account maintenance charges, what are their policy. They have to give us all the correct information. And the other important thing, I think one of the most important things, is that they maintain records, right? So no matter how many trades you or me execute with the broker, right, we can get those details properly, right? You can check how many trades was sold, bought and sold, record of this transaction, what are the charges that we have to pay, what is our P&L. They maintain everything. Imagine, it's not like the olden days where everything has to be done manually and you have to record what you have bought, what you have sold. Over here, everything is done by the brokers, on behalf of the customer. So that's what they do. The third is the compliance, right? They ensure that they follow all the SEBI rules. See, all the brokers are supposed to be registered with the SEBI. So obviously, they ensure that they're following all the rules which are sorry, which are laid down by the with SEBI. And the last, another important thing is, right, like for example, when you execute orders, or some data is not proper, right, we can ask questions to them and they help us resolve the question. So these are the main responsibilities of the brokers, right? So if your brokers are not doing much of these things, then you might have a problem and you might have to change the broker. And the other thing is, like, let's look into how brokers make money, right? So we have spoken about what do brokers do, who they are, what are their responsibilities. So over here I've made two slides. So first I'm going to talk, in this first slide I'm going to talk about the basic, or their main bread and butter through which they earn money, right? So if you look at this uh, transaction, right? So first, what happens, as a buyer, we place a buy or a sell order. Then what does the broker does? Broker goes ahead and execute in the stock exchange. Trade is matched on the stock exchange, and then what happens? Whatever the broker earns a commission at the back of this trade, right? So for every trade which is done, at the back of it, the broker earns a commission. So that is their main business, or that is their, how would I say, main bread and butter. So it might all depend on the types of broker or the charges that they charge, but this is the main butter. The more the transaction happens, the more the trading happens, the more they will earn money. The number of transactions reduces, the number of transactions comes down, and that's when the earnings through commission goes down. So this is their main bread and butter, and that's how they actually started. But now, if we look in this slide, right? So now a lot of things have changed, and they have started making money through a lot of things. So obviously, first is, as I told you, about the brokerage and commission that through which they earn money, right? The second is account opening fees. Whenever a customer opens an account with them, they charge fees over there. Then the other thing that they have is, right, is annual maintenance charges, and this is very important because we need to understand. Brokers maintain the account on our behalf, right? They take care of everything, of our records, of all our transaction, of all the information available. So obviously, for that, what they do, right, to maintain those details and to maintain this account, they charge this annual maintenance charges. Then the other thing which they charge, right, where they earn quite a good amount of money, is margin interest income, right? So what happens? This is mainly used in trading, where whoever is doing the trading, they might not have the money, but the broker lends them the money and charges interest on it. So this is one of the how to say, very lucrative side of their business, where they earn quite a good chunk if they're able to do it quite well. Then recently, what has started is distribution income. So over here, what they do, right? They sell products on behalf of other financial institutions like mutual fund, IPOs, insurance, right? So if the products are sold through their platform, then they earn commission at the back of it. And the last is value-added services, which not all the brokers provide. We will learn this in the types of brokers. Over here, they charge for research report, advisory, special tools that they are providing, and all those things. And if they do any courses and everything, so this is how they make money, right? So obviously, one needs to remember the basic bread and butter for a broker is their commission, and that's where they make their money. And the more our trader or invest, the trade, the more they'll make commission. So sometimes what happens, right? It becomes a conflict of interest, because I have personally seen there are some brokers who will make their clients just do buy and sell on a regular basis without acting in the client's interest. I'm not going to name that, but it does happen, right? So one has to be very careful. So you need to buy and sell only when it is required, not just because your brokers are telling it. Because for them, the more we buy and sell, the more commission that they'll make. So that is one thing. And the next thing is, like, why brokers are important, right? See, if we go to a normal market, we can directly buy and sell with the, we can directly go and buy the stuff in the market or sell in the market. But over here, why brokers are important, why they are actually needed, right? So obviously, the first important thing is that they provide access to us, like retail investors, access, to the market. That's what they do. That's the first thing. Second thing is, it is assumed that they have the expertise and the guidance, because they're directly, are there with the stock exchange. So they might, and they research a lot of companies, so they have expertise and guidance. And the other thing that they help us to do is, right, fast and easy execution. I mean, now I think everybody has their apps on the phone, and it does not even take a second to place an order and to execute an order. If you look back during the early 80s or late 90s, right, where majority things were physical, where it used to take days before the transaction could settle or the order confirmation could come. But over here, it happens nowadays very fast and execute. And they ensure safety and security of the account and the stocks that are with them. And obviously, in the end of the day, they save us time and effort, right? Because all we have to do is, right, just go to the app, place the transaction, and get the transaction done. So it saves a lot of time and effort. It's not like the olden days where you have to go and meet the broker physically or call them up and talk to them and get the things done, right? So these why brokers are important. And if you look at the next slide, which I make it, types of brokers, right? Because earlier there were single type of brokers, but now what has happened? A lot of different types of how to say brokers are there in the market, and one needs to understand what kind of brokers they are opening their account in and what kind of services that they will get, right? So first we'll take is the discount brokers, right? Over here, if you see, right, these are the most how to say brokers which have become recently famous, right? Because the reason is why, right? Because they offer low cost trading with simple platform, and we make our own decision and we buy and sell. So the how to say the brokerage is very less. The brokerage is only charged only on the delivery of the equity, and then obviously specific charges on terms of the tradings that they do. So some examples are Zerodha, Upstock, 5%. The recent one which has come up is grow. Then there are something called as full service broker, right? So they just do not provide a platform for us, to buy and sell the shares, right? But they provide research, advice, support, along with all the trading facilities. So if I take, for example, right, you have HDFC Securities, ICICI Direct, Sharekhan, all these are full service brokers. But over here, obviously, the charges or the brokerage will be definitely higher compared to the discount broker. Then there are some things that relationship managers, right? Like JM Financial and Motilal Oswal, where they actually have dedicated RMs, right, who help understand the needs of their customer and they execute. Obviously, over here also, if you look from the charges perspective, it will be slightly higher. And then there are another kind of brokers are called as bank brokers. Over here, what does they do, right? The bank offers a broking and investment services to their customers. For example, you can take Kotak, Access Direct, and SBI Security. And generally, most of them are also full service brokers where they provide all kinds of services, and the charges are also definitely high. And the last and the final one is specialized brokers. They focus only on specific areas like commodities, currencies, the lead market. And I think the most famous one you might have known about is MCX, through which people can buy and sell commodities and do future contracts. So these are the type of brokers. So one, as in, when we open our account, we need to understand with whom we are opening the account and what are the services that they will provide and what are the charges that they charge. So these are the main. And the next thing, if you look at, right, so over here we spoke about all the broker and everything. So over here I made a slide where I just wanted to talk about how the whole buying and selling process works with the broker, right? So in a simple 6 steps I've put it, right? So first of all, let's say I am the investor and I decide that I want to buy or sell HDFC shares, right? And you might have like, Masood, why you're talking about HDFC, like one of the most famous companies. So I'm just taking the name for an example. It's not a recommendation. So over here, I decide to buy or sell HDFC. What I do, I open my app, I go and place the order, whether it is a buy or sell order. Then what happens? This order is received by the broker. Broker receives the order. And what they do, right? Once they receive the order, they send it to the exchange, whether it is a buy or a sell. And then what will happen at the exchange, the other side will be there. Whether if I put a buy, then there will be a guy who's willing to sell at the similar price or close to the similar price. Or if I'm buying, then someone is willing to sell all the things. So the order gets matched at the exchange, and if it is matched at the exchange, then the order gets executed. And once it is executed, now the settlement happens on T+1. So in India, the settlement. So what happens if I buy a share today, then the shares will be get credited to my account by tomorrow. It doesn't take more than one day. It's not like olden days where it used to take days and weeks before the settlement could happen. So this is how the whole buying and selling process works. So I hope this is quite clear for you because I just wanted to explain it and put it in a very, a simple presentation. And then another question is, right, see, whenever we have an account with the broker, right, so obviously we put the money over there and then buy and sell the shares because without the money, we cannot buy and sell the shares, right? So the question comes, right, can a broker run away with our money? Definitely not, right? Because they're highly regulated by SEBI. And the other important thing is, right, if you look over here, right, the money is kept separate in a bank account, which the broker cannot use it. And obviously trade happens on exchanges, and there are certain regular checks and reports done by SEBI. And the other important thing is, right, there is something called as investor protection fund. In case of there's a broker which defaults, so it helps to recover certain part of the money, and the broker provides all the details and everything. So in short, the chances of broker running away with your money are very less. So let's conclude it on the main thing, right? from this, what we have learned in this in today's chapter, right? So brokers are our partners. They help us go ahead and execute the trades in the market, and they maintain, how to say, they maintain all our accounts. They take care of everything. The other thing is the money is safe with us. So the money is safe with them. So there are no ways that our money can get lost with them. The other thing is the process is very simple and transparent. It's not that complicated. Nothing is hidden. All the information there is front of us, and it gets executed within seconds. And the other thing is, right, we have full visibility and control, because nowadays if you open the app, right, you will have all the information from the contract note, the holdings that we have, what are the value of the holdings, and all things. And the last and the final thing I would say is, like, whenever you guys are choosing a broker, choose wisely, and depending upon the services that you need, according to that, take a broker. If you can take the decision on your own, and you think, one can think that you can execute the buy and sell, go ahead with the discount brokers, because the charges that you one will pay is quite less. But if you look like, no, I need full services where, I need a RM who needs to help me, I need research report and everything, then you might have to go with the full service broker. So that's all. I hope you guys learned something new, and I hope this was quite useful. And if you guys like this, please do hit like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and God bless you.